Hello, and thanks for joining us for this episode of Eagle Talk. I'm Justin Maybach alongside Cordell Cumming. The weather knocked out some games for lacrosse and baseball, but the sun came back out, and so are we. We kick things off with some high school boys lacrosse. The Eastridge Lancers and Brockport Blue Devils had their chance to play on a college field on Thursday. First quarter, Brockport down 1, Ashton Howlett with a swinging goal to tie up the game, 2-2. A few minutes later, Brockport will capitalize on the loose ball. Owen Manchester finds the back of the net. The Blue Devils go up 3-2. It'll be all Eastridge after that. As time winds down in the first, Trevor Schmidt soars through the air to knot it all at 3. And Schmidt isn't done. Schmidt would have 8 goals in the afternoon, 16-7 the final.
On the girls' side, Hilton Cadets hosting the Spencerport Rangers Friday night. Early on, Hilton's Megan McGuinn gets on the board with the one-timer Cadets down 1. The Rangers stay on top. Cameron Sack finds Natalie Colt, who slings the top shelf. Spencerport now up 4-2. And it wouldn't be a Rangers highlight, of course, without Erin Kuykendall. Kuykendall with the goal. She finished with 5 goals and 2 assists. Spencerport captures the 18-8 victory. For more on Spencerport, here's Ben Vahey.
It was a gorgeous night in high school girls lacrosse here in Hilton, New York, as the Spencerport Rangers took down the Hilton Cadets 18-8. Junior Erin Kuykendall has been playing really well this year, and she spoke to us after the game along with her head coach.
I think that we work really well together. Like, a lot of us have been playing together for a really long time, so just like the connection that we have, we know where each other's going to be. I think that helps a lot.
You know, we're a small unit, but we said from the beginning, you know, we're going to be small and tight, and we're going to support each other on and off the field. And you know, one person's victory is our victory.
Spencerport's goal is to hopefully get to the sectional final at the end of this year, and they have a good feeling they'll be on their way if they keep playing strong. Reporting from Hilton High School in Hilton, New York, I am Ben Vahey. Talon TV Sports.
Also, in girls high school lacrosse, the Brockport Blue Devils hosted the Grease Storm. With 1:41 to go in the first half, Brockport down 6, Maya Yun tickles the twine for the Blue Devils. They would be down 5 goals at halftime. The Blue Devils would show some life at the start of the second half, though. Here, Tori Lames dishes it off to Leah Daly for the score. Brockport looks like they are coming back. But the Grease Storm show why they can bolt. Alyssa Ballou with a top-shelf goal to put the Thunder up 8-3. And then, a big moment, Emily Benham scores her 100th career goal. Let's make it 1-1 as Benham shoots it down low and Grease would run away from the game. The Thunder take down Brockport 11-4. Benham spoke with us after her career game.
It was awesome. I mean, I have a great team, and we really was a whole team unit, and if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be where I am today, so I really appreciate it. I love my team, and it's just great milestone.
Kids across the country look to collegiate and professional baseball players as their heroes, but Brockport honored a different kind of hero before their weekend doubleheader against Fredonia. The team hosted its annual Hometown Heroes event as local first responders, police, and fire departments were recognized before first pitch. Monroe County Sheriff made a guest appearance, and he spoke with us prior to the game.
I really appreciate the College of Brockport recognizing our first responders, you know, and those guys and gals. These folks you see around us are willing to give their life, you know, for a total stranger. If someone calls 911, whether it's fire, EMS, or police officers, they're coming. So it's just a great tribute for the community to recognize these guys and gals.
As for the game, Alex Brown on the hill for Brockport, a tough outing for Brown in this one. In the first, Daniel Goodbread singles to left, Blue Devils on the board, 1-0, runner scores standing up. Unforced errors costing Brockport this game. The outfielder slips. Runners advance, leading to a run by Matt Kellner to make it 2-0. Can't have that for Brockport. The Golden Eagles shut out 8-0 in this game. They drew even in the second game by a score of 14-5.
The College at Brockport Athletics Department held its 8th annual Dancing with the Athletes last Wednesday night. All Brockport teams were allowed to partner with the dance department to choreograph and perform a routine in front of the crowd. Team Clean won this year, and the proceeds will go to the Headstrong Foundation. They raised $1,200. We spoke with 2 participants and the event organizer on what was an eventful night.
I think we got cheated, but you know, we're not that sore losers. I think we did our best.
It's all good. We'll be back next year.
This event has been a phenomenal experiment. It started out as an experiment 8 years ago, and just a collaboration to get our athletes involved within the rest of the campus.
While it may only be April, the women's soccer team is in full gear preparing for the upcoming season. The Brockport women's soccer team played their annual spring game Tuesday night versus Erie Community College. They were in mid-season form early on a key returning player for the Golden Eagles. Mariah Sarr returns for her sophomore year. She scored 2 goals in the exhibition, and a newcomer trying to contribute this year, Lexi, knocked one in for her opening game. Emma Nevers comes back after a stellar season. She looked sharp with a big save in the match. They opened the season on Friday, August 31st versus the Utica Pioneers.
The Rochester Amherst are poised for a championship run in the Calder Cup playoffs, bringing players down from the Sabres, clinching a berth for the first time since 2014, and they find themselves one loss away from packing it up. They trail the Syracuse Crunch 2-0, but Rochester will be on their home ice at the Blue Cross Arena. After Game 2, Justin Bailey and head coach Chris Taylor talked about their plans to defend their home ice and give the crowd something to cheer for.
All of us will look at the film and we'll see the things we did well, and but there's definitely you give up 6-7 goals like that, there's obviously things we need to clean up. So it'll be good to get back to Roch and defend the home ice and come back here for Game 5.
Get back going and get back to practice and work on the things that obviously that Syracuse does well, and I thought we did a lot of good things again tonight. I loved our compete. I loved how we came back and battled back. We got to start playing with the lead, and it's tough to keep coming back.
Puck drop is set for 7:05. Meanwhile, the NFL schedule was just released on Thursday, and the Buffalo Bills will not have an easy task ahead of them in order to return to the postseason. The Bills have a difficult slate opening on the road at Baltimore before hosting the Chargers Week 2, both teams that they narrowly edged out for the final wild card spot, with 5 of the first 7 on the road and the task of facing the AFC South and NFC North, 2 of the toughest divisions in the NFL. Hey Justin, so what's your prediction on the season, and do you think the Bills have a chance to go back in the playoffs?
Well, I think that the Ravens and the Chargers are definitely going to be looking for revenge, considering how Buffalo knocked them out of playoff contention, edged them out for the final wild card spot in the AFC. I also believe that the Dolphins and the Patriots are going to be pretty decent this season. The Patriots are going to be coming to Buffalo for a Monday Night Football game. First time Buffalo is hosted in 10 years. Can you believe it?
Yeah, and I think sometimes I wonder if the fact that the Bills made the playoffs, it glossed over so many of the issues they had on offense, including I sat up here and I was a Tyrod Taylor fan. You guys can probably attest to that. But as I seen the Jacksonville game, sort of went away from that, and now they have A.J. McCarron. So I think they'll draft a quarterback. They need to draft a quarterback. They cannot trade all those picks and end up getting out of this year's draft without a quarterback. You have 5 possible really good options, maybe not starters year 1, but they need to leave this year, at least this year's draft, with the quarterback in mind for the future, because it's not going to be A.J. McCarron. We haven't seen much of him so far.
And depending on who the Bills draft in the NFL draft, which is coming up very soon, it may have already happened for those of you who are watching now, I think that they could go potentially 6-10, 8-8, maybe 10-6, and they'll get a wild card spot again. But I don't think they'll be good enough to overcome the Patriots. I could be wrong.
Yeah. I don't think they'll overrun the Patriots. That's just my little oral history. I have them going 10-6 based on my marks, but as I tell a lot of people, it's usually always 2 to 3 games that can go either way, and the old Bills culture will usually lose all those 3 games. So you never know. The new coach McDermott and the GM Bean, it seems like there's a shift in culture there. So maybe those 3 losses turns into 3 wins, and that will be the difference between having another start to a drought and going to the playoffs for back-to-back years.
It's all about trusting the process.
I don't think Buffalo want to hear that, but that's all we have for you right now. Justin, take it away.
This is our last show of the semester, so we want to thank all of you for tuning in throughout the year. We will look forward to covering the stories and people that matter to you. Until next time, I'm Justin Maybach.
And I'm Cordell Cummings.
Thank you for watching.